Hi, welcome to 4.3, which is multiplying polynomials. We're on page 5 of your green packet. So we're going to be using the distributive property to multiply polynomials. So to multiply polynomials, you can use the distributive property. Or, and this is not listed on here, but I'm going to show it to you in case you like it, or you can use a grid. And I'll show you both ways. So let's say that if we were doing something like this, we've done this before, so you're just distributing to every one of those terms and multiplying it by 2. So 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 5 is 10, like that. Now, if we have something like this where we're multiplying two binomials, we're taking the x times both the x and the 3, and the 2 times both the x and the 3. And there's actually a special term for this that people sometimes use, and it's called foiling. So it stands for first, so first two terms, outer, meaning the outer two terms like x times 3, and then inner, so our inner two terms, 2 times x is 2x, and then our last two terms, which is 2 times 3. Now that only works when we're talking about a binomial. When we have something like this, we have to do the x times every one of those numbers, and we have to do the -3 times every one of those numbers. A way to do it with a grid, I'll show you on this one here. So we could have something like x and then -3, and then up here I would have my x squared, and then 2x, and then 4. Like that. And so I would just multiply each of them in there. So x times x squared is x to the third, and then x squared times -3 is -3x squared, and then x times 2x is 2x squared, and then 2x times -3 is -6x, 4 times x is 4x, and then 4 times -3 is -12. And then we just add all these together that are like terms. So there's our x to the third, and then -3x squared plus 2x is -x squared, and then 4x minus 6x is -2x, and then -12x, or I'm sorry, -12, not -12x, goes like that. So it's just a different way to think about it, a little more visual if you like that. So I'll show you a couple of different examples, and I'll use both ways so that you can see which way you like the best. So we're going to start with this one right here, and I'm going to use the distributive property on this one. So I'm going to say -7x to the fourth times x squared. So -7x, add those exponents to the sixth, minus -7 times +5 is 35, and then x to the fourth, x to the fifth, and then -7 times -9 is +63, x to the fourth. And then none of those can be simplified, so I'm just going to leave it just like that. And then let's do this one, and I'm going to do this one both ways. So I'm going to do it in a grid, and I'll show you the other way. So here's my x and my 3, and here's my x and my 5. X times x is x squared. Here we have 5x, 3x, 5 times 3 is 15. So I have x squared. 5x plus 3x is plus 8x, and then 15. If I were going to do my distributive property, I would use FOIL in this case, so I would do my first, so x squared, here, and this is my answer. I'm going to get the same thing either way, and then my outer, so x times 5 is plus 5x, my inner, 3x, and then my last, 3 times 5 plus 15, and then I just combine those like terms there. So x squared plus 8x plus 15. So you get the same answer either way, it's just depending on what you want to do. And we're going to do one more that has a little more to it. So that's this one down here. So once again, you could either use the grid or you could use the distribution property. I'm going to use distribution. You can do it either way. So we're going to do 6x times 2x squared, so that's 12x to the third. 6x times negative 3x is negative 18x squared. 6x times negative 5 is negative 30x. 5 times 2x squared is positive 10x squared. 5 times negative 3x is negative 15x squared. 5 times negative 5 is negative 25. And then I'm just going to combine my like terms. There's no other like term with that, so 12x to the third. My squared terms. Hang on, did I miss a squared? Yeah, this one should not be x squared. 5 times negative 3x is just 15x, not 15x squared. Okay, so for my squared terms, I have negative 18x squared plus 10x squared, so that's going to be minus 8x squared. And then my negative 30x minus 15x is negative 45x. And then my minus 25. Okay, pause the video and try the rest of those on this page, and then I will give you the answers. So the answers for those look like that. Take a minute to grade your work and find anything that you're having problems with so that we can talk about it in class. And we're going to do a couple more problems on the next page. So go ahead and flip to page 6. On this, it's saying that when we see a type of problem like this right here, we are going to expand into two binomials and then we're going to multiply. So like this one right here, we would just write 8 plus x times, or I'm sorry, x plus 8 times 8 plus x plus 8, because that's what squared means. And so that ends up being x squared plus 8x plus 8x plus 64, and that's the same thing as 16x plus 64. Okay, just try two of those. Try this one and this one, and I'll show you the answers for those.
May I have your attention, please? Monica G., please report to room 205.
There are answers. Okay, down here, I'm going to do one, and then you're going to do one. So if we have the f of x and the g of x, so our f of x is x minus 7 times x plus 3 plus our g of x is 6x. So I'm going to distribute this, so x times x is x squared. X times 3x is, or I'm sorry, x times 3 is 3x. Negative 7 times x is negative 7x, and then negative 7 times 3 is minus 21 plus 6x. So I have x squared. Positive 3x minus 7x is negative 4x plus 6x is positive 2x, and then minus 21. Okay, you try this one, and then the answer for that one ends up being 3m squared minus 9. Okay, let's take a look at the word problems on the next page, on page 7. So we're going to do this one together here. So if we're writing an expression for the area just means we multiply length times width. So we're going to take x plus 2 times 3x plus 6. X times 3x is 3x squared. X times 6 is 6x. 2 times 3x is 6x. 2 times 6 is 12. Combine those, so we have 3x squared plus 12x plus 12. Now, A, B, and C We speak sometimes of standard form being ax squared plus bx plus c. So that means that this is our a, this is our b, and this is our c. Okay, you try this one in just a little bit, and I'm going to show you this one. So we want the area of the shaded region. So we're going to do the big rectangle, 8x times 3x, minus our little rectangle, which is 2x times x. So 8x times 3x is 24x squared, minus 2x times x is 2x squared, and then when we subtract those, we get 22x squared. Okay, you go ahead and try the other two problems on that page and pause it, and I will show you the answers. There they are. Okay, and let's see, there is one more page for this section, but we are not going to do it. So go ahead and cross out your page 8. It is good information, but it's a little bit extraneous, not focusing on our point here. So please make sure that you write anything down that you are having trouble on, and we will discuss it in class next time.